Hello everybody, welcome back. Time to catch you up on some records I've been picking up over the summer. Hope everybody had a good one. It's early September as I record this. Kids are back at school. We're still catching kind of the tail end of the warm summer weather, but it's supposed to cool off soon. I'm going to do a couple of videos as I've got quite a bit to show. First off, I think I'm going to show you some records I picked up on our quick family vacation to the town of Vernon, BC, Canada, which is about 5 or 6 hours drive north of here. It's kind of in the lake country area. It's agricultural region. They grow a lot of fruit. It's renowned for fruit actually, and it's quite a hotter region than it is here. And of course, as many of you do, I like to look for records when I go to a different town, different place. That's part of the fun. But first off, I'll show you what I got in just a moment. But first off, I want to give a massive Fat City shout out to Trish Mullins, DJ Trish. A package arrived in the mail from her the other day. I was not expecting anything, let alone anything as big as what she sent me. What she sent was this massive book from Soul Jazz Records. They put it out a couple of years ago, called Reggae 45 Sound System, the label art of reggae singles. And this goes from 1959 to 1979. It's compiled by Steve Barrow of Blood and Fire Records and Stuart Baker, the head of Soul Jazz Records. And what this is a photographic history of Jamaican music. They go year by year and show various singles and the label art from them. Pama label out of the UK. Sunshot label, Phil Pratt Productions. Smash label. Trojan Records. So great to see all these labels. I wish I had every record in this book. I have depressingly few, but it's pretty cool when you do come across one that that you recognize. Show you a few here. I do have this one. Joy White, Dread Out There on Eagle. What's another one in here? I was talking about Larry Marshall recently in my tribute video. Thanks to everybody that watched and commented on that. There's Larry Marshall right there on his Amanda label. So very cool book. Thank you, Trish. I was blown away to find this in the mail. You shouldn't have, but I'm blown away by your generosity. Thank you very much. This is incredible. Very cool stuff in here. Just makes you wish you had every single record in there. On to the vinyl digs. As I said, went to the town of Vernon. There's a couple of record stores there. On a previous visit, there was one I was looking forward to seeing again, and it looked like they'd closed down, but there was a couple of new ones in their place. Didn't find much in the thrift stores there. But I had a relative that lives there that we were visiting take me around. He's worked in thrift stores there and kind of the second-hand collectibles business for many years. He's into records a little bit. It's not his main thing, but he took me around to a few of the stores, and ended up picking up Wishbone Ash, Argus, writing from a former owner on the cover, unfortunately, but this is one actually I had been looking out for. This is a later press on MCA. Still inside gatefold or inner gatefold. Cool album, iconic cover. I was kind of holding out for a cleaner copy of the cover on this one. You always seem to see it kind of marked up or something, but the price was right on that one. It was priced at $10, and I think I got it for $5 with a discount because they know my my relative that took me in there. I did well by Buddy Miles on this trip. Didn't have any LPs by him, while I have one CD. Got Booger Bear, 1973 on this one, the Buddy Miles Express. Very cheap. Also got another one by him, Gathering of the Bicentennial Gathering of the Tribes, 1976, obviously. His usual blend of kind of rock, funk, a bit of that laid back kind of West Coast war kind of funk. Very cool stuff by him. And he also figures on John McLaughlin Devotion on Douglas Records. psychedelic gatefold. And he's Billy Rich is on here. Buddy Miles on drums. This is 1970 on this one, I think, on the Douglas label. It's the inner sleeve there, and it's kind of sunset orange Douglas label. Jazz guitar, bit of rock fusion in there, a bit psychedelic in places almost, I would say. So basically 3 by Buddy Miles in one trip. Also picked up Thin Lizzy and Johnny the Fox. I have their debut album, The Light in the Attic reissue, which my friend Kevin actually put out. But this is my first original by them. Very good rock album. Vertigo label. Got that fairly reasonably priced too. Now the biggest surprise from this trip actually came in one of the record stores where I found a couple of those things. Actually, I got most of those at the same store. But they had a 3 for $1 bin right outside the front door. So we're flipping through that. You know, you kind of see the usual things. And then I spotted this one and couldn't believe my eyes. I'd kind of seen this posted before. I kind of knew roughly what it was. But I grabbed it straight away and had to look it up later, and was quite surprised to find out how much it is worth. It is The Feminine Complex, Live and Love. I think this is from 1968, I'm going to say, around there. That is on the Athena label. They were a all-female group, ages 17 to 19, I believe, out of Nashville, Tennessee. Kind of a mix of a little bit of psychedelia on there, a little bit of garage rock, a little bit of sunshine pop, little dash of Beach Boys style harmonies. The kind of the leader of the group was Mindy Dalton, singer, guitarist, main songwriter, and also Judy Griffiths on tambourine as kind of the second focal point of the group. They were a bit of a sensation playing gigs around Nashville at the time. Cut this one LP for the Athena label. Apparently, by the time this LP came out, the band had more or less split up, with members going on to the usual paths of college, careers, family. Apparently, most of them are still around, long since married, of course. So this LP came out, kind of straight away made its way into the bargain bins. You can tell it's a 77-cent price tag on there. And there's also a cutout hole punch, but it is still in shrink. When I played this, the spindle hole is tight. I would say this thing has barely, if ever, been played. So I was pretty shocked to find that in the 3 for $1 bins at this at a record store, where you would kind of think they would know what that's worth. Not that I'm complaining. So very cool album. There's them rocking out in their mini skirts. This was reissued originally first in the 1990s, and apparently there was a bit of controversy. Some people didn't believe that a record this good could have been made in the 60s, but I think it's come out more or less proven that it's legit, and they did record this. And just to finish off my 3 for $1 finds, I had to make it 3 for $1. Couldn't just grab that one. I got this comp, Get It Together. This is 1973. One of those on the RCA label. One of those compilations from the time. They always have kind of a interesting track list, mix of really obscure stuff with, or not really obscure, but a little left field stuff mixed in with more of the well-known classics. So I had quite a few of the songs on here, but I think I picked this up for John Fred and his Playboy band, Judy in Disguise. Buddy Miles is on here again. It was quite the Buddy Miles trip, them changes. And what really caught my eye on here was The Music Explosion with a Little Bit of Soul. So those are all songs I didn't have in my collection, so get them for less than $1. And last up, my first LP by Perez Prado. Perez, it's quite an early one by him, 1950s. A bit of splitting on the cover, but otherwise very, very clean condition. RCA Victor, and even has the RCA inner sleeve there. Very nice condition, kind of Latin jazz, cool stuff. Lots of percussion. So those were my vacation digs. I'm going to do another video for some thrift finds, record store finds. But thanks for watching for now, guys, and cheers.